This is the Genki ShadowCast. If you're not familiar with what this is a device that'll let you hook your console up to your laptop and use a laptop's monitor to play the games on. Here's their Kickstarter page. They well surpassed what they were asking for with over 30,000 backers. I was lucky enough to be one of the early adopters and was able to receive my device this morning. So let's take a look at it. First, we'll start with looking at the unboxing and then try it on some different devices and see how it worked out.
Okay, so this is the package it came in. Pretty sturdy bubble wrap. So I'm gonna open it up here. Probably should have got a knife. Okay, so here's the box. Typical boxing with the picture on top. Shrink wrapped. Got the little slider. The inside box slides out. And on the back here, it's got a description of all the different uses for it. So let's see. Nice little tuck in up. Oh, good, there's not tape on that. I always hate it when they put tape on that. Okay, so here's the inside of it. Looks like this pops out of the center here. Oh, got a little reinforced cardboard behind it. Okay, so this is the device. It's got the HDMI input, and that's the part that goes into your console. So if you're using a Switch, you'll have to have a dock because there'd be no port on the Switch itself to hook it into. And then the USB-C cable connects there, which it comes with, which is good. It's always nice when they actually include the cable. Well, let's see what kind of cable it is. So it looks like it has a right angle on it. Yeah, so there's that right angle, and then the other end is also C. So if you're going to use this on a PC that doesn't have a USB-C port on it, you'd have to have an adapter. In which case, it might not work depending on the speed it needs to run at. So yeah, you get your nice little sticker and a manual, which probably about 2 pages of it is in English, and then the rest of it's other languages. So
here's a little bit closer look at the device. See, here's one side of it. Looks like it's fairly well made. There's the HDMI port on it. And then the USB-C port. So pretty straightforward. There's not any extra power adapter that needs to be used to power the device. It should run off of the USB-C power coming from your laptop. And here's one more look at everything that came in the packaging. There was one more sticker that was inside the bubble wrap that was not inside the packaging, and that's this sticker that's in the middle top there. Looks like it's maybe some type of mascot for the company. I'm not really sure, but in case you order this, make sure you check inside the packaging before you throw it away, or you can miss out on this incredible sticker. You can download the Genki Arcade app from their website. Just go to the shop, and under ShadowCast, they'll have the Mac, Windows, and Chrome versions. My understanding is that you have to have this software in order to reduce the latency on the games that you're playing. Otherwise, if you just plug this into your PC and try to use any standard app to view the video, there'll be so much latency, the game would be pretty much unplayable. Something you need to be aware of while installing this on Windows, I received the following error about Defender blocking the installation. Of course, you can go ahead and run through this. If you click on more information, you can see it was the Genki Arcade software version 1.0.2. Looking in a little closer, I checked the properties of the installer versus another one that I had, and I noticed that the Genki software does not have a tab for the digital signature, so I'm assuming the software is not signed, and that's the reason why this is giving an error. I would say it's safe to use unless they've miswrote the software, but I wouldn't put too much worry about it being a virus. Okay, so I have a correction on that last part. this is not an installer, but it's the actual application. So when I told it to run anyways, it came up and is ready to go. It's telling me the ShadowCast is not connected because I've not connected it yet, but you got a little link here to go to the website, I guess, to get more information if you need it. But it seems like it just is a standalone executable, which I really like, because you could put something like that on any type of cloud storage, OneDrive, Google Drive, and it would just sync back and forth, and you'd always have it. So that makes it very nice. And I'm going to plug this into the device for the first time, so I have no idea what this is going to do. I don't have the HDMI plugged into anything. Let's just see what happens when I connect it. And the screen goes black. So I'm guessing it's waiting to output the video when I hook it up. Okay, so I've got my switch hooked up to it now. As you can see, it comes up. It's responding and moving around the screen. Now, one thing that I've noticed when you hover your cursor over top of it, you've got some settings here where you can adjust the mode. You've got performance or resolution mode. Right now it's in performance. The microphone, you can choose a microphone. So I guess you can record and annotate because it's got a save directory, it's got capture video, and pictures. So you can come in here, start hitting record, and if you need to capture some footage from a video, you can. You can stop it, and it pops up a save dialog box on my screen. I don't have this on the recording, but you can start the microphone so it can record. You can annotate while you play if you need to. Okay, something I started noticing as I was using this is that it seemed kind of laggy. So I'm in the Switch's test input devices, and I'm going to pull up to test the controller buttons. And as I'm hitting them, I'm noticing I'm hearing the sound of the click on the screen a little bit after the buttons click. I'm going to hold the controller up to the mic and see if you can hear the delay. So you can tell there's definitely a noticeable delay. I'm going to disconnect the switch so the screen's going to go black. And I'm going to use the switch itself and hit the buttons on it with the speakers held up to the mic. And there's just one sound. Both the button press, click of the button, and the sound coming from the speakers of the switch are in sync. So there's somewhat of a lag there. Whether or not that's something that's going to affect you or not, it may depend on the game you're playing. If you're playing a action game that requires quick responses, it may be something you'll need to consider. Hopefully they'll fix this with an update, but I'm also using the Genki's dock with this. I doubt the dock's adding any delay because I've never noticed that before when using it. So something to keep in mind. So I'm trying this on my Chromebook, and because I don't have a capture set up for it, I'm just using my phone to record here. But I noticed it wasn't detecting it. And when you go to the download on their main page for Chrome, it basically just takes you to the website, arcade.genkythings.com. And I noticed up in the corner, I had to click to install the app. So I'm going to install that now. Let's see what happens. Okay, and it still is not seeing the device. Things I've got it plugged here. If I unplug it, you notice how my camera kind of resets. Plug it back in. It's picking up the device, but it's not working. So you can see here the switch is in the dock. You can see it's powered on. The screen's not on, so it knows it's on the dock. This time I used the actual official dock. The ShadowCast is plugged in. The USB-C cable is going from here into the side of the Chromebook. But it's still not saying from the software side that's connected. So something that I noticed is that the ShadowCast has a power light on it. And when I'm plugging it into the Chromebook, you'll see a green light come on and then go away. This was staying on before when I had it hooked to my desktop, so there's something that's cutting power to it
It's probably something in the Chrome OS.
So this is the Chrome app on Windows, and it seems to be functioning fine. I did have some trouble getting it to come up and work. I don't know if I may have had the application open at the same time that could have been locking out use to the device. But eventually it popped up and seems to work fine, basically the same way as the app. The screen may look a little bit softer. I'm not sure on the settings. It's set for performance. If I go in here and change it to resolution, it does seem to be a little clearer on resolution, but I would expect if I go in here into my settings and then go down to the controller and then test input devices, I can probably see there's probably still a delay. You could probably hear that. Almost like a tick, 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 tick. That's from when I'm hitting the button until it's responding. In the Kickstarter information, they made an update today that also mentions using the Konami code on your keyboard, not your controller, but your keyboard, to unlock an advanced mode. So after putting in the code, if I come up here into settings, I've got actual resolutions I can choose from and frame rate, which gives you a whole lot more options to play with rather than the defaults. So that's a closer look at the ShadowCast. You can still order this. It's $43 when you add shipping into the United States. It's really not too bad of a product for a USB-based capture device, which in essence that's what this is with its own special software. The hardest part in recommending this is the delay in the input, the lag there between the controller and the screen. It's pretty noticeable if you're playing a very fast-paced game, but if you're playing something that doesn't need as much reaction time, I know in Hyrule Warriors I didn't really feel the delay as much, but I could definitely feel it when playing Strider. So it all depends on what you're playing. Hopefully they will straighten these problems out. They've updated some of the information on the Kickstarter page with a little more information on here. Again, saying that the Chrome version is basically a beta. They're still working on that, experimental. So hopefully that'll be a nice bonus. It's not even something I realized was going to be available. So hopefully this will be something that you find interesting, or you may decide, no, this isn't for me, or maybe I'll wait and see if they get their software to where the lag isn't as noticeable. I will put a link in the description for the website where you can order it and find out more information. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to share it with others that may be interested. This is the first video I've ever done, so my apologies. The audio seems to cut in and out as I'm reviewing this, so bear with me. Hopefully it'll get better. But I wanted to get this information out, share with others, let them know what I found out. So if someone's looking at this type of product, they'll know whether or not it's something they want to get. I appreciate your viewing and take care.